Welcome to Commercial Real Estate 101. Today we're talking about RPR. That's Realtors Property Resource. It's going to be a blast. And if you're not a realtor, you might still learn something because maybe you'll be a realtor someday. Or if you're an investor, maybe we'll have some things that you'll learn on how to use the system from an investor's perspective. But I think we'll probably have to do a separate video for investors. Today's guest is Terrelle Major. Terrelle is a certified RPR trainer and a commercial real estate agent. And so this is going to be great. Terrelle, welcome to Commercial Real Estate 101. We're so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I'm happy to be here today. Good morning, everyone. And if you can get those cameras on, we can have that interaction going. I would love it.
And if you see me looking off to the side today, it's because I've got two computers and the other computer has dual monitors. And so I'm looking up and down and keeping track of stuff. It's a lot of fun. So there's a lot of things that I'd like to know about RPR. And I think the first thing we're going to do is ask Terrelle, what is RPR and why should a commercial realtor want to know about it?
Well, RPR stands for Realtors Property Resource. It is going to be your biggest resource out there that is included in your NAR dues. So whether you're using it or not, you are paying for it. So why not get the benefits out of it? I have numerous slides to show you guys today. So we're going to dive in. We're going to find out all the information about RPR and how we can use it in our commercial real estate business.
Awesome. And we're going to have a conversation, Terrell and I, as we go, because I used to be a radio talk show host. I love the interaction and being able to draw additional information out of our guests. So that sounds good to you, right, Terrell?
Yeah, so we're going to get through the presentation, but we want plenty of time left so I can jump into a live screen and really show you guys the benefits of using RPR.
You sound so professional. I can't wait. Let's go.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
All right.
So our topic today is RPR hacks, tips, and tricks for the commercial realtors. I've been an RPR instructor since 2016. So I've been doing this for a while. I'm a commercial realtor with KW Hoover. I'm also a KW commercial tech trainer. I'm an education coordinator for ROI Muse. I've met some of you there. I just love that group. Joseph and I in Kitchen, we just have a good time with our coaching program. Also, I'm a continuing education instructor with the state of Alabama Real Estate Commission. I'm a proof instructor for the Birmingham Association of Realtors, certified real estate instructor. I am a Gold Star instructor. That is a national certification through REIA, the Real Estate Educators Association. I have a master's in commercial property. I am the process of getting my CCIM. Last year, I was vice chair of the Birmingham Commercial Real Estate Council, BCRC.
Oh, okay.
This year, I am 2024 chair of the Birmingham Commercial Real Estate Council, 2023 chair of Commercial Technology MLS workshops. So that was residential and commercial combined. So that was a blast. I was president 2023 of the Alabama Real Estate Educators Association. So I love bringing in trainings for our real estate instructors in the state of Alabama. So 2023, president of the Asian Real Estate Association. 2024, nominating committee endorsed candidate and elected to the Greater Alabama Board of Directors. And I know that was a mouthful. And I know you guys are thinking, yes, I am busy. I'm very busy all the time, not only with my commercial real estate business, with also my trainings.
A lot on your plate. That's really impressive.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
And
Thank
it's
you.
really crazy because you're like texting me at 11 o'clock at night, my time. And it's like, what is she doing? She's like, oh, and I got to be at a meeting at 8 a.m. It's like,
Yes,
what?
and I was actually at Auburn University, and I am getting a certification in economic and development.
Nice.
So what we're going to learn about today is what is RPR? RPR data partners. And I'm going to spend a little time on this because I will always get the questions, but how does it work? But I don't know what's going on with it. But How does everything work together? So I'm going to spend a little time on that to tell you about the data partners. Also, the RPR commercial app. So not only for the residential, but it also has a commercial side to it. And 50 ways, this is a little bonus I threw in. It's
Huh.
50 ways to use RPR.
Well, it's a good thing we've got 3 hours scheduled for the meeting today, so you have time for all 50, right?
Of course, of course.
Guys, don't
RPR,
worry. We're only going to go an hour, okay?
only an hour. And also the RPR commercial reports, because as you're researching the properties in the areas, RPR has these commercial reports that you can share with your clients and prospective clients. Also, we're going to jump into opportunity zones, distressed assets, site selection tool, trade area details, and comp stack.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot. So we're going to get started with what is RPR. RPR is NAR's technology company. It is wholly owned by NAR. It is a national parcel-centric database for residential and commercial properties. It is built exclusively for realtors. So unless you are a realtor, you do not have access to this. It's no additional charge. It is built into your dues and it's no consumer access. And the main site to get to it is www.narrpr.com.
Let's pause for just a second and bring up something that people ask a lot about. And that is if they belong to a commercial brokerage that is not a realtor affiliated system, there's a couple of ways they can still become NAR members, correct?
Correct. If you are a commercial realtor, if you have your CCIM, if you're part of ISCS, you can also be a part of RPR. So
And
what you're going to do,
also SIOR and
yes, correct,
CCIM. I think we said CCIM, right?
correct,
Yeah.
correct. So we're going to jump into our data partners, and I have this graph, and it's going to tell us all about who our data partners are for sale, for lease partners, on market, off market, site selection, financial analysis, traffic counts, tenant data, climate risk mitigation, and also existing businesses, which RPR calls the POI, so points of interest. And that comes helpful when you open your maps. So let's jump into that. And here is a page with a link that I've included. Now I'm going to have a couple of links and a couple of slides that are going to have additional information. I'm going to show you where you can go and get all of that information. So we're going to jump into RPR has collabs and partnerships and affiliations with some of the biggest names in real estate. So we're going to go by each category. So for sale and for lease data partners is Brevitas. And Brevitas is a national commercial listing platform and is also a great marketing tool for your properties. Crexi, we have a partnership with Crexi, and those properties are updated daily. Total Commercial has been around for a long time. So say it's been around since 1995. And again, it's a listing platform that you can go on, put research properties, and also put your properties on there. Also for our for sale and for lease data partners, we have Land Broker MLS. And it is great for land listings to view them also. And for the rural real estate professionals, by proxy, and by proxy has a new public marketplace called officespace.com. So again, you can go in and look at for sale for lease properties in the office market and retail market. Catalyst. Now, all the other ones I have mentioned so far are free. So please go in and make a free account. The only one that is a paid is Catalyst, and look up Catalyst in your area and see how much it's going to cost. You can also contact Catalyst. And the great thing about Catalyst, it brings in all of that Moody analytics. So if those of you who know anything about CCIM, this is where we get our information. It's through the Moody Analytics. So it is great and through Esri.
Ooh, I've got some questions.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so number one, I actually, have been doing commercial real estate for a number of years now, but I did residential before. One of the things I've noticed a lot of realtors just don't know about RPR. They may have heard of it, but they've never used it. And they're used to um, having an IDX feed just for their
Yes.
local MLS. Is there an IDX feed for RPR?
We don't call it an IDX feed because, again, it's with those partnerships. So it's like an IDX feed, but what it's doing is constantly bringing those in.
Okay, but I'm in like if I have my website as a real estate agent and I'm using the IDX feed on my website so that customers can go look at the listings in my local MLS, is there a way to integrate
No, it
RPR?
is not. No.
Ah, okay. So that was one question. The second question is Catalyst. So, like, we're moving from California to Tennessee, and the Association of Realtors is called E10, East Tennessee Realtors. They actually have a commercial MLS that's separate from the residential one that's powered by Catalyst. And do those people, because I'm not a member yet, so I don't know, do those local Catalyst MLSs have access to the nationwide reach of Catalyst and to all the Moody analytics?
Yes, they're not going to
Fantastic.
have access to the Moody's, but when it's bringing that information in, it is integrated. So you're giving even more properties in that data.
Okay, cool.
So it's widening your search.
I love it.
All right, so let's continue.
While we're paused for just a second, for those of you who are watching the recording, please hit that little subscribe button too, and click the bell so that you're notified of all our new videos as they're released. Because we've got a bunch of videos on commercial real estate, training for commercial realtors and residential realtors who like to get into commercial. So be sure and check out our YouTube channel, subscribe and like. Always comment because it helps the analytics and the algorithm to bring more people to the channel too. So thank you very much.
All right, so let's continue with our for sale and for lease data partners. Um, Comstack. This was huge. Comstack, you're going to receive 500 free credits when you first create your account with Comstack through NAR. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Also, here's officespace.com again. And again, those are for those office listings information. ICSC is our brand new partnership. We are very excited. So those are going to bring in those retail and also shopping centers. For the off market, Black Knight is the backbone of RPR data to bring in all of that ownership information down to the corporate level and get the assessments and the recorded all of those data sets. Site selection is the main source when it's going to bring in consumer data. So with the site selection, we're going to be able to see what people live in that area. What did they buy? Where did they go? How far are they willing to travel? And these are called tapestry segment profiles. And again, all of that information is coming from Esri, and Esri is the mothership of everything commercial. And also within that, we can do trade area reports and site selection analysis. Financial analysis within RPR is Valuate. So Valuate is the financial analysis and marketing tool. And it's also collaborative because you can send your clients, potential clients, a hyperlink on the analysis of that, or you can create reports also within Valuate itself.
Are you going to show us any examples of that?
I will show you how to get into it. I will.
Awesome.
Also,
Thank you.
traffic counts. All of those traffic counts comes from Calibrate, and those are updated quarterly. And there also includes from the government entities and transportation department. So I really like that because it, again, it's bringing in all of the current data. With tenant data, it comes from SMR research, and it's bringing in over 25 million US companies. So it's going to give that commercial property insights, and it's updated quarterly. Climate risk and assessment. These are going to be located on the right-hand side of when you bring up a property under the additional resources and also the risk factor that has any environmental risk data. Existing businesses, as I had mentioned before, the POIs is coming from Data Axle. So Data Axle is also a new partnership. Very excited about that. And as I had mentioned also before, is Esri. So it's going to bring in the economic, demographic, and spending data of that tapestry segment profile. And with all of this, commercial data partners is bringing in over 800,000 on-market commercial properties and over 56 million off-market commercial properties.
That's a
And this
lot
is
of
kind of,
data. And I'm
that
just
is
curious,
like,
you're talking about a lot of stuff that's really useful in offering memorandums. I know a lot of people use other third-party products to build their memorandums. Does RPR now offer with these new partnerships the data that you need so you don't have to have those additional subscriptions?
you can grab that data and put it in your offer memorandum, but RPR does not make a OM for you.
Okay.
And
So
this is kind of how it works with the all of those data partners. So with all of those data partners, it's going to bring in public records, the MLSs, and the CREs, which are commercial information exchange listings. So it's going to bring all of those in. And then remember, this is nationwide. So you can go and you can look in different states. And don't forget to download your mobile app. So if you have not, you can scan the QR code or you can go to www.narrpr.com and just type in mobile app and download it there. And you guys, I have screenshots of these printable guides, and I will show you where you can go and get all of these guides or anything that you want to know about RPR. And this one is about the RPR mobile app that is specifically to commercial. And what I love about the mobile apps, as you guys can see, these little green circles are numbers. So all of the printable guides take you step by step. So you're not wondering like, oh my goodness, how do I do this? How do I do that? It is everything broken down step by step.
that sounds very useful. I want everyone to know that we are going to include the links in the recording under the notes.
RPR has a YouTube channel. So make sure you find it by NARRPR. And you can go to the YouTube channel and they have all of these videos. And again, this is free to you as a realtor. And what I love about these videos is they're time segmented. So whether you just want to learn about everything or just one thing, come in and learn about the things that RPR is offering to you. And this is just what I love about it because you can watch these videos over and over and over again. And I'm also going to take you guys to the Learning tab. And under the Learning tab of RPR, it is additional resources for you. So you don't have to worry about if I'm on my laptop, I'm on a desktop, or am I on my phone or my iPad or whatever. All of your devices sync within each other so you never lose any data. You can scan this QR code or you can go to rpr.me/50 ways dash 50 dash ways, and it was going to bring you to this infographic. And it has all of these things that you can do with RPR.
Sounds
So let's
useful.
Yes, very. So we're going to jump into what you can do. Now, on the residential side, even though it says prospecting and this is residential, but we can also use this for commercial. We can generate neighborhood mailing lists, and you can also create mailing lists within RPR. So if you have a little bit of time, this is going to be one of my bonuses that I can show you. And also you can search not only homes, but commercial properties that are distressed. And also, you can use RPR as a leave behind report as you're prospecting businesses or owners of commercial real estate. With the buying tools, you can come in, we can look at FEMA flood maps. It's in the mapping tool, in the map of RPR. And we're going to get into opportunity zones and how to research those. This is another line of business for you guys. There are investors out there. Again, yesterday I was at an economic development training. This was part of our training. They're looking for people who know how to go in and find those opportunity zones. So again, these are all the things that you can do on the commercial side: site selection, trade area, tenant data, increase the property profitability. That's when you can go into evaluate. So make RPR your one-stop shop. Now here is a infographic, the principal guides on commercial reports. And with those commercial reports, what I find most useful is the trade area report, and it's going to give you all that data on the area. And with those commercial reports, we have the property report that is for individual. We also have our trade area report is going to give the demographics and the economics of the area. And also the trade area analysis is going to give everything about the neighborhood, everything surrounding that commercial report. And with RPR, within the reports, what we can do is we can come in and we can upload custom pages to our RPR reports. Use this as a marketing tool. Show this as your value of why it is great to have a realtor. So all you have to do is come in, click on Create Report, and then click on Manage Custom Pages. And when we create a report, you're going to be able to see these, and these are going to be located on your right-hand side of that page. And then it's going to open up Manage Custom Pages. And with Manage Custom Pages, you can upload 5 custom pages as long as it's a PDF. So as long as it's a PDF, you can upload it and decide if you want your custom pages to be at the beginning of your report or at the end of your report. And as you add those custom pages, it just clicks on add another page. And remember, guys, I told you I was going to give you bonuses throughout this class because I am a tech person. Because I was figuring out, wow, 5 pages, we have multiple pages and maybe in a custom pages. So I was wondering, how can I add more pages besides the 5? And I figured it out. Remember, I'm a techie. If you go to the site, I love PDF, and you click on split PDF, RPR only recognizes those multiple pages as one page. So that is another bonus I've added in for you guys today. That is I love PDF. It is a great tool. Also for changing, if you need to change anything from PDF to Word, PDF to PowerPoint, vice versa, it is a great free site. I use it all the time.
I didn't know about that. So thanks for sharing.
Yes, you're welcome. And remember, I mentioned opportunity zones, and with those opportunity zones, we are going to show the opportunity zones layer and how we're really going to get in and find those properties within the opportunity zone. So what I want you guys to do, remember, this is an interactive class. Get those phones out, scan that QR code. You are going to download the 6-page opportunity zone toolkit. And this is located on NAR's page. So even if you go to NAR and type in the search, Opportunity Zone Toolkit, this is what you're going to get. This has so much information. If you guys can see these pages with all of these links, again, this is another way that you can add to your prospecting and your bottom line. Get to more business out there for yourself. So once you download the page, you're going to go to the second page, so page number 2. And you're going to click on the timeline infographic. And then it's going to open up this. So this is the timeline. So this is going to tell you what the investors, what they're looking for. Again, use this as your marketing tool. It is awesome. So I'm just going to go over this really quick. So opportunity zones are also called QOZs, which are qualified opportunity zones. And within those, there are 8,700 across the United States. So just a little bit about it, and I want us all to stay in our lanes. We are realtors. We're not CPAs, we're not accountants, but I just want you to get an overall brief of this. So within 180 days of an investor realizing they have gains of sale, they can take that gains of sale and put it into an opportunity zone. So that defers the taxes.
So you
Within
can do
that,
this instead of a 1031 exchange?
yes, you can.
Ooh, so there. If you are an investor and you closed escrow, and you're like, yeah, but I wanted to do a 1031 exchange. It's like, sorry, you're too late. You closed escrow. You now have an opportunity to still defer the taxes, right?
All right. And within this, it depends on how long you hold that property. This is not for a fix and flip. So let's get that understood. This is not for a fix and flip. These are for investors who are going to invest in the area, in the community. So depending on how long they hold that property, it reduces the percentage of the taxes to be paid back.
Nice.
And also just continuing along with this infographic, if they hold it for all of 10 years, there is no tax on any appreciated on reinvested gains within that opportunity zone. That is awesome. And the last date for the opportunity zone sale interest is December 31st, 2047. And with those opportunity zones, how we're going to find it, we're going to go to show geographies. And then we're going to click on opportunity zones. And all of this is located within your map. So within here, you can analyze the properties within the opportunity zone, whatever fits your client, review the economic and demographic stats. You can create reports for your investors. And guys, don't forget that you have 2,000 formats, mailing formats in RPR every single month. And I want to say formats and not mailing labels because I've taught class where some people thought that RPR was actually sending in the mailing labels. No, you have 2,000 formats that you can do within RPR every single month. Let me repeat that again, formats. And within that, it flips over every first of the month. So then your 2,000 starts over again. So within when we open those opportunity zones, our map is going to change. Our map is going to change to these peach colored areas. So these are opportunity zones that you can search for your clients. Now we're going to jump into distressed assets. And distressed assets are labeled by various things. So it could be hardships, death, partnership issues, health issues. You know, why invest in distressed properties? Well, if you know how to do it correctly, you can definitely build wealth and returns, have higher returns. It is equity captured through forced depreciation. So those of you who are new to real estate, commercial real estate, that just means that we're putting value add into that property. We're putting some work into that property. And it also has tax benefits with cash out refinance and 1031 exchange. So how we're going to find those opportunity zones? We're going to start off at our homepage and we're going to go to filters. And then we're going to stroll down until we find current distress status. And we're going to concentrate on pre-foreclosure and foreclosure. You can also put a time in. So if you want to narrow down that search. Also, we can also put a time also here. And we can also put an owner name, or if we're searching for owner occupied or absentee owner. So again, there are 3 distress statuses within RPR. Pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, and foreclose. We're concentrating on the pre-foreclosure and the foreclosure, not foreclosed. Foreclosed have already went back to the lenders or the creditor. I mean, literally, those are in a file sitting on someone's desk. Next, we're going to talk about the site selection. Again, this is your printable guides, and I'm going to show you where to get those for the commercial site selection. And within the commercial site selection, we have trade area analysis. And we can go in, starting again on our home page. Your home dash controls everything. So we're going to click on research. And then we're going to go down to commercial site selection. And once that opens, we're going to put in the area where we would like to do that commercial site selection. Site selection are going to be the best areas for your client. We can choose up to 5 attributes, and we're going to click this down tab. And that tab, we can do 5 different rows of those attributes. And also CompStack. CompStack, oh my goodness. You can come in and find your commercial comps here. So not only we're going to find those comps, but also we can narrow it down by property type. not just the area. So we can go in, we're going to put in our area and then the property type. And don't forget to open your free account. And right here within CompStack, it shows you how many credits. Remember, you start off with 500 if you're a brand new account. This tells you how many credits it is to open that account.
So they have different numbers of credits for different properties.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So within that, when you open that comp, you can decide, do you want to download it as an Excel file or a PDF to view it? So however you want to give that information to your client. And if you do not have a CompStack account, the email is nar@comstack.com.
So you get more credits every month, or how does the
Oh,
whole credit
yes,
system
you
work?
do. Remember, I told you I was going to have bonuses throughout all this training. You get 150 credits every single month after you have used your 500 free credits.
Huh, good thing you sent me
And then
that
you can
Chick-fil-A
earn more
card.
credits, right? And then you can earn more credits on top of that. So whether it's 5, 25, or 30, depends on what they call the premium fields that you have that information to that property. So training support open 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 877-977-7576. The blog, I'm going to take you to the blog. That's where you can find all of your on-demand training.
Let's take a quick pause just to introduce myself real quick, if you don't mind. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Vogt, and I go by Commercial Chris when I go to conventions and stuff. Everyone's like, hey, Commercial Chris. So I'm the managing director of the Vogt Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, and I am your professional connector. So been around for a long time. Before I got my license, I actually had 40 years of commercial real estate experience, having grown up in a family that bought, leased, and sold commercial real estate, was involved in marketing, and as a certified financial planner, supporting my clients with both commercial and residential deals as they were analyzing them, and as a tax practitioner, helping them maximize tax deductions. So, and then I ended up doing a hostile takeover in the Silicon Valley. Did you know that, Terrelle?
I did not.
No, it's a really interesting story. We don't have time for it now, but after doing forensic accounting for a year, I put together a team and we all went into the company at 4:45 on a Monday afternoon, just before closing, accompanied by two plainclothes police officers carrying handcuffs and handguns. The next morning, I was introduced to the staff as the new CFO, COO, and eventually I became the CEO. A lot of fun experience, and I'm looking forward to using that to help you with your commercial real estate opportunity in the future. So those of you who would like to get in touch with me, please note my cell phone number is down there in the corner of the screen under my picture. So thank you very much for allowing me to take a quick break and introduce myself. Terrelle, back to you.
Thank you. So now I am bringing up your RPR home screen. Within your home dashboard, I'm going to review this a little bit. So I'm going to make sure everyone knows how your home dash is laid out. So remember, it's narrpr.com, and this is your home dash. So within your home dash, this is how everything is going to look. We're going to change our toggle to commercial. You can either put in an address or a place. And I love how RPR place holds these, so we don't have to over and over type in, especially our recent searches. We can come in and our type in status. Within our type status, we can do for sale and for lease. And these are properties that you know for sure are for sale and for lease. So active, active on the contract, pending. If we're looking for off-market properties, we're going to change it to public records. So please make a note of that. On the market are for sale and for lease. Off market, you're going to select public records. Property type. These are all the property types within RPR. So you can select your property type. If you would like to narrow it down by a price range, you can come and do it here, or square footage, or that lease amount every month. Then we have our guided tours. So if you're getting used to RPR, you can click on the guided tours, and what it's going to do is just going to open up, and it's going to be some purple feet that's going to appear, and it's literally going to take you around the screen until you get accustomed to RPR. We're going to scroll down to My Markets. I love My Markets. Within My Markets, let me go up to the profile. Make sure that your profile is completely filled out. So you're just going to click on your headshot right there and click on profile. And within that profile, you're going to fill out all of your information. And this is where it's going to show you what all of your connection here. So I'm going to cancel that. And we're going to go back to our homepage. So make sure that all of your profile is completely filled out.
Terrelle,
Mhm.
how many MLSs can you put on your profile? Do you know?
Oh, it's the MLSs that you actually belong to, and that's also how RPR verifies you in your account.
Okay, so you have, if you belong to multiple MLSs, you can add them all.
Yes, if you belong to multiple MLSs, you can add those. But remember, within your search, your location here, you can search nationwide. So we're going to continue down, and also within your profile, you can put in your markets here. So as you guys can see, I have Birmingham, Alabama, I have Richardson, Texas, Roswell, Georgia, Sandy Springs, Georgia. So that just means when I open my homepage, it's already set up for me, ready to go for the areas that I search the most. And as you guys can see here, I have the new listings, and all I have to do is just click on them, and I can see what is new that's happening in my markets area. Within your properties or your recent searches, your saved are going to stay here until you go in and delete them. Your recent searches, your reports, and your reports only stay in cache for 30 days and then they disappear. Every time you click on a recent search, let's click on a recent search. These are my recent searches. Every time you click on one, your 30 days starts over again. And that's also with your reports. Every time you click on a report, it starts that 30 days over again. And again, we have here our recent. So very easy to get to. It just saves us a step. Please join RPR Facebook group. Here is that 877 number again. Those of you who are asking how I'm going to find all of this stuff out of this training, you're going to click on the Learning tab and you're going to open it here. You're going to go down to Commercial, click it, and then everything about commercial real estate is for you. Remember these videos, these guides. Remember I was showing you the guides on my slide? Here are all of those guides. We're going to talk about site selection. Here is the site selection guide. So you can download one of these or all of these. This is up to you.
Wow. So
And
someone's
then
commenting how quick you talk. And so they're really happy that the recording is available. So they go back and review this.
oh, okay. Yeah. So we have a lot of information to get to, but you can always stop me and we can just review some things. And again, remember, these are all of your printable guides. These are your guides for you. These are going to take you step by step. We're going to go back. We're going to come back to our home screen. So let's get into how to find properties. I already looked at this property before. I know it's for sale. It's in Vegas. It is a retail strip. So this is how, when you bring up a property, how it's going to look. It's going to bring up your property information. It's going to have your map location, your trade area, and any updates that you put in. And with your updates are going to be any notes that you add to the property. Also, you can upload your own personal photos to this property. So just think if someone has put some value add into a commercial property. You can come in and you can upload those photos. Hey, I noticed that you're doing a lot of upgrades to this property. Create a property report for them, jump in, be the first draw on that. So let's
Okay.
look at this property.
Question. So
Yes,
when you're uploading photos and stuff, those are just for your
of
personal
course,
use, right? They're not
of course,
becoming public. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
of course. Anything that you put in RPR, once you open your account, it is your account. All the things that you do, any of the analysis, your searches, Any changes that you do is only in your account. You're not changing anything within the RPR system itself. So that's another great value. So we can open our photos of this property and you can just stroll through. This is what this commercial broker has done. So those are some great photos of that property. It's going to tell us the basic facts of it. How long has this owner owned the property? How long has it been listed? The number of tenants that are in this retail. How long is the average tenant stays? Great information off the bat because we don't have to do any more researching on that. This is information that you can directly go ahead and give to your clients. If this is a description of this property, this comes from the listing. So wherever the listing broker has put in, now we have a place for notes. And I've already added a note here. Large parking lot with adequate parking. Signage is clear for each tenant. Your notes are for you unless you keep it checkmarked and then it goes into your reports. And if you give your reports to someone, your notes will also be in that. So if you don't want your notes and your notes are only for you, please make sure that you uncheck the box. We're going to scroll down. Here's our miscellaneous data. We know that it's a shopping center, and RPR helps us out. It tells us what the source of this information is coming from in the corner.
When the property is sold and it's no longer listed, do your notes persist in the system? So if it comes up for sale again in the future, you can go back and say, oh, 5 years ago, here's my notes.
Your notes are going to stay with that property.
Perfect.
Property facts. And you see that you can put in changes here. Remember, any changes that you make is only in your account. So say, for instance, it was the wrong property type. I can come and select that property type. Any changes that you make within RPR, make sure that you scroll down and you look for a blue button. Your blue button is going to say confirm, update. It's going to be something of that. So make sure any of your changes that you make, you're going to click a blue button. If you have more information, if you want to add another row about that property, let's say, it had driving bays, this was a warehouse or anything like that. These are your additional that you can add to that property report itself.
Can you add custom fields?
You can add a custom field. It's going to say other.
Okay.
With the tenants, it's already going to give you the tenants that are in that building. If you do not know all of the tenants, just drive by the property. Because guess what? You can come in and add the tenant's name and the contact information that you can find out about that. This is great for, as you guys can see here, print tenant list. Another outreach that you can give to your clients, that you know what's happening in the area. You know who the tenants are in this property. And again, that tenant information is coming from SMR. We're going to scroll down, and most of all, what I love about RPR, we're going to have the owner facts. So whatever LLC that property is held in and their mailing address. So you don't have to go out to another website to find data. It is right here within RPR. I love that.
So as far as getting names of the owners of the LLC or phone numbers and email addresses, you still have to do outside research, right?
You don't have to do outside research for that, but guess what? You have a starting point. You have the LLC and you have the tax mailing address. We're going to scroll down, financial details about that property. We're going to scroll down a little bit more, the legal description and the census tract number, the parcel number, and what this land was used for. So retail, Clark County. And as you see throughout these tabs, we can make notes to ourselves along the way. So anywhere that you see where notes, just do the drop down and add your notes. Listing history, very important. I can see how many times this property has been listed, if there's been any price changes. So whether the price change went up, down, whatever it may be, I can see that. Again, I'm having an educated conversation with my client about this property. We're going to scroll down and I have my public record history. And with that public record history, I have the deed information. I can see what type it was. I can see the sales price. If there has been, oh, I'm gonna get to that part. Here is the buyer's name. I can track the history of this property to see how it changes hands, how the LLC has changed hands, who was the seller's name. Also within this, I have mortgage. Within that mortgage, again, I can see if they took out a line of credit. I can see how many loans they have in our property. Again, I am making an educated conversation with my client. I'm not just guessing. I love this. This is one of my favorite tabs. Again, we have our taxes here. So I can see how much the taxes have increased over the years. And if there's been a distress action on this property. So way back in 2009, there was a notice of default. This is way before the current owner has it. It tells me it was Nevada Title Company. Here is the trustee's address and the borrower's name, that LLC at the time, and view more details. Drop down. It gives me even more information about that distress action that happened way back in 2009. Now, on our right-hand side, we have all the listing details of that broker who has the property listed. So here's that broker's name. And I already knew by looking at it, he had it in CRE. But if I just click on here, I can go straight to that CRE listing. So if I decide to say leave, I'm going to go to CRE. I'm going to go to that CRE site to see this property listed. Maybe I want to get those due diligence information on that. And here is the property. Here's that broker's name and the due diligence. So if he has any information there, he just says contact him for that. So we're going to close that out, go back to RPR. And also on our right-hand side, again, I can see what multiple listing systems is this property located. And again, he has it located in CRE. So again, this is a property that is not on the MLS, but because of our partnerships with CRE, it brings those properties in. And additional resources, and I know someone asked about CompStat. Here's CompStat right here. You're going to click on that to open that. We're going to do that in just a few minutes. We also have a map for our property. So we can come here, we can open our map, we can do it by driving time. We can also do points of interest if I want to see what's near that property. I also can come in and do map layers. So if I want to see medium household incomes, if I want to do flood maps, they are located there. And also I can change my map from an aerial view, which is good, especially when you're making your own OM. If you need that really quick, you can come in and do it. And I can do it from a terrain view. I can also do it from a satellite view. So however you would like to see that property.
I'd like to just interact here a little bit because I've only used RPR on like one property because it's like so many things. It's like, oh, another tool. I don't have time to learn it. But I did use it for a piece of land in Southern California, which is like a 10-hour drive from where I'm at. It wasn't coming up for the land at the right place based on the APN. And I called support. Support was so helpful. It was really amazing. And they
Absolutely.
showed me how if the proper property isn't being located by the APN, how you can move the pin so that it goes to where you want it. So let me just encourage you that if this looks like there's a lot and it's going to be confusing, number one, the recording, if you're listening to the recording, you are already here. But the recording for those of you who are joining us live today will be available. And when it's available, we will send you an email with access links. Call support when you've got questions. They're really helpful. They were really friendly too. I actually talked to a couple of different support agents, and so far I'm giving them 5 stars.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And also they have a live chat. And especially if it's something that you're going to refer back to until again you get accustomed to the system, you can save the live chat because they're going to put exactly the instructions of whatever you're asking about.
One thing I've learned that I think is kind of important is, let's say you're a member of an MLS in Atlanta, like Terrell is, and she's looking at property in Southern California, because we were just talking about that. If the MLS or the listing service, mainly MLSs, if they choose what data they want to serve with people who are not part of their MLS. So you may look at something and go, hey, this data is incomplete. And that's probably because the MLS has chosen not to share all of their data. And you do have access to look at the listing agents if it's listed, so you can contact them directly.
All right. So let's jump back into the property. So we viewed all of the property information. Let's go ahead and make a property report. So let's click on report, and that's going to take us to our report tab. So we have it for the 5752, and RPR is smart. It kind of knows what you're doing because it's going to take you to the report of whatever how you're navigating that property. So because I didn't make any changes, I didn't try to go into the neighborhoods or anything like that. I was just looking at that property and knew that it was going to advance me to the property report. So we're going to say, I want to customize it. So all I have to do is click on customize. And these are all of my custom reports that I have uploaded to RPR. So let's decide. I'm going to take that residential out. Everything with a blue check mark will be included in your report. If you don't want it in your report, you just simply uncheck it. If your notes are only for yourself, uncheck it. So we see two places within RPR. If I don't want those notes, I just uncheck it. So on the right-hand side, remember all of your profile. This is the benefit also of having everything, your profile filled out, because it's going to be on the front page of your report. And manage custom pages. Remember that? This is how you're going to upload your custom pages. So let's zoom out a little bit. This is how you're going to upload your custom pages. So add another page, as long as it's a PDF, this is how you're going to upload it. And this is what RPR accepts. It has to be a PDF. So we're going to go along, and I can put a message in for my client. I can put their name in. I can put a message. I can determine if I want it done as a PDF, or I just want to directly send them to their email. I always do things such as a PDF because we always make mistakes, and I just want to see how my work looks before I send it to someone else. And just click Run Report. It tells you your report is generating. All you have to do is close that box, and you can continue working. Now, up top, your reports, it tells you that the reports is 2 minutes remaining on that report. If you have other reports, it's going to show you here. Under those reports, you can, every time you click on it, it's going to start 30 days in cash again. Well, let's go ahead and look at that report. And here it is.
So while
So
that's
again,
loading, we are really close to the end of our hour. And
yes,
I
we
don't know
are.
if you have time, but there have been some good questions in the chat. Do you have time to stick around a little bit extra if
I
people want to
do.
stick around to ask some questions?
I do. And I have some more things to show you guys also. So
Okay,
here is
so we're going to go overtime, guys.
and I hope everyone is okay with that, because it's all about learning and building our book of business. So here is our property report. So within our property report, let me say, and for some reason, I cannot advance the page. I'm sorry about that. Let's go. So this one is 21 pages. So I'll just scroll down. This is one of my custom pages. I just made this in Canva. Canva is one of the tools that I use for everything. Don't try to create everything from scratch. Find a template that you like, plug and play. There it is. I've included my tenant rep process.
Whoa, 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 just a second. So Canva, have you found any offering memorandum templates on there? Because I haven't looked.
Oh, there within Canva, you can find anything that you want to find. All you have to do is search it. So again, it's plug and play. And the thing is, I love putting my custom pages in here. I've added my due diligence checklist. So automatically when I'm sending my client something, I'm reminding them. On our property, there was a plat map. What I did with that plat map, it downloads as an image. All I did was open it in Word. I inserted the image and saved it as a PDF. Again, I'm sending my client more information. They already have that plat map. And then it goes into the report.
Okay, Terrell.
Yeah.
So you've done a really good job putting this together. And I'm curious, I have a feeling, and you guys in chat, let us know if Terrell is willing to share a copy of this sample report she did. Would you like to receive it? Because if you would like to receive it and Terrell is willing to share it, that's something that we could include in our email afterwards. What do you think, Terrell?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to come out of that. I am going to go back to RPR because I have a couple more things to show you guys because we are running a little short on time. We are going to go into how do I find properties in an area. So I just put in the area Dallas, Texas. I want to see what's for sale for lease. You guys see how quick that was. It brought back 2,000 properties in a couple of seconds in the Dallas area that are for sale and for lease. If I would
That's
like
pretty
to narrow
impressive.
that down, all I have to do come here and select my property type. I can also select how I want to view them. I like it on the photo view, so I'm seeing that image a little bit clearer, but I can also come put it in list view. So that's how it looks in list view. But also, guys, remember, I told you about those mailing labels. I can come to mailing labels. I can download this list as a CSV file. I can do it as a PDF. It's going to look just like my computer screen with those properties. Or I can create the mailing labels. And these are the mailing labels that it takes: the Avery 5160, 5161, 5162. I can also decide, do I want the property address or the tax billing address? And if you look to your right here, it gives you what the format looks like. I can also make some adjustments to my list, exclude properties, not include on do not mail list. If there's any reputation, if it's incomplete addresses, it shows me just from that first few pages, it's going to, well, from that I downloaded, it's 728 properties just that quick. And when I hit print, deciding on what I did to create those mailing labels or the PDF or the CSV, I can automatically put those properties into my CRM. And no, it doesn't connect with any CRM, but if you download it as a CSV, you can upload it to your CRM.
Is there a
So I love
limit to
that.
um how many labels or how many addresses you can download in a month?
But 2,000.
Okay,
And at the first of the month, it starts over again. So
got it.
just really wanted to show you guys that. So let's go back up. And again, I do like the print the photo view because I can see that property a little better. So now we're going to come to, well, let's see if there's any properties. Let's go to our filters. We're going to stroll down to pre-foreclosure, foreclosure. And I want to see if any of those properties have a distress action on them. And there's two. So
Hmm.
just like that, I saw in the Dallas area, it brought back two distressed properties that are pre-foreclosure and foreclosure. And again, anytime you see the photo, just open it up. And I have those details, just like we did on our property that was located, our retail space in Las Vegas. It has all of that information. And I'm going to scroll down.
Can you set alerts so that you can
You cannot. Nope,
know
you cannot.
alerts? Ah,
No alert. So we're going to stroll down and how I'm going to find that distressed information. I'm going to come to the public record history. And remember, we saw our deeds and our mortgage and our tax earlier, and this is the distress. So I'm going to click on that tab. And guys, look, I have the recording date that was 124, the type of default that it was sent, the trustee's name, the trustee's address, and look at that, there's even a phone number about that property. Again, add to your line of business.
Okay, so Terrell, even though you can't set an alert, you can set this as a smart search or whatever they call it, right? So that you can just click a button, it'll pop up all ready to go with your filters and stuff.
No, it does not do it in that way. You do have to go in and pull those properties up.
Ah,
So that's not an alert that you can do on that. And what I love about this tab too, you can pop it open so you can see it a little bit bigger here. And we can close that tab. And again, that's how we find our distressed properties. So we've searched many retail properties across Dallas that were for selling for lease. So those were all of the property types. And then I narrowed it down by distressed properties. And anytime you want to go back to your list, just click on search results and it takes you back to your list. So you don't lose that. All right, so now I'm going to go back to home and we're going to do a little bit because I promised I was going to show you guys some site selection. So thank you for hanging in there. So when we're doing our site selection, what are going to be the best areas for our clients? So we're going to come to research, drop down tab. It is commercial site selection. Within that commercial site selection, we're going to put in our area. So let's say if we do Sandy Springs, Georgia, and we're going to select our attributes. And within your attributes, it's going to ask you questions. So it's tailored to whatever you want it to be. So you guys remember that, whatever you want to look at. So I want to know, who are they? And the attribute is come on, help me out, Chris. What do you want to know about these people? Who are they? What about them?
well, I want to know how old they are because people who are getting older may be interested in liquidating properties for the retirement or changing the type of property they have. So
So we want to
probably
do
people
50s
who
or
are
60s,
probably 60s and older.
60s. And we're going to scroll down and remember with everything with RPR, you have to find that blue button. So don't forget to find that blue button and say, okay, but guess what? I have 4 more attributes that I can find out about this area. So all you have to do is click add more criteria. When add more criteria, select your attribute here. Okay, what else do we want to know, Chris?
Um, let's let's figure out where they live. Sure.
Where they live, and with where they live, what areas do we want to know? Who lives in the suburb, the metro cities of the area, any of these?
Let's go for semi-rural.
Wait, it's not going to be many of that because that's in Sandy Springs, and Sandy Springs is up and coming.
Oh, well then what are you going to call that? I don't know because I don't live in Sandy Springs.
Yeah, I visit often. It is an up and coming area outside of Atlanta. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, now you had
Also,
one that said what they buy. What's that?
oh, let's see what they buy because I also want to know what they buy in the area. So, do I want to know when they go out and entertain, their apparel, their dining out? Oh, let's do the dining out because there's lots of wonderful restaurants in that area. So, after we select our criteria, and remember, you can do 5 rows of these. We're going to run our analysis. And when I run our analysis, it's going to show me what are the best areas in Sandy Springs. The dark purple are the best areas for what we had our attributes. So whatever we ask the RPR. So let's do road. There we go. So you guys can see those purple areas. The dark purple areas are the best. And RPR helps you out with this. It shows you here, best. So within Dunwoody, and yes, it is. Riverside, definitely. So these are the best areas. So these are people in their 60s. They live in the suburbs. And this is how much they spend on dining out a year. Look
Wow.
at those numbers, guys. 9,000, 10,000. So whatever you want to select, if you want to select the best or you just want to select just a few of these, we can take those, select it, and this is how we're going to create our trade area analysis. trade area analysis. And again, it's going to take me to my report. I can customize it. And let's just say I want to leave my commercial. Then take those out, and I am going to run that report so you guys can see what that looks like. And just as simple as that. RPR does not take a lot of time to create the reports. You do not take a lot of time and going in and searching. Let's download that report and let's look at that. Guys, you see what value you can bring to your clients in just a couple of minutes. And look at this. It's going to give me an outline always of the area that you're asking about. Again, you're going to have your profile information there. I kept in just one custom page. And then here, it's going to have those areas that are the best areas for my clients. So when I send them this report, they're going to already see visually what it is. And then it's going to go into the breakdown. The same thing that was on our computer screens is now here in a report. How long would it have taken you if you've done this yourself to pull all of this information?
I don't think I know where to find this stuff like dining information.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
it's an infinite number.
And just look, it brought in that information. It's a nice, clean report. This is called the site selection that we can automatically go in, pick the areas, choose your attributes, and show our clients what is the best area for their business or what are the best demographics to put their business.
So if you own or want to start a restaurant, you want to go where people are spending a lot of money on eating out. That's for sure.
And we definitely can see the numbers here.
That's pretty impressive.
It is awesome. It is definitely awesome.
And notice
So
too that Terrelle, she just did point clicky, clicky, clicky. It wasn't like she had to go in and do a lot of programming or anything high tech. It was just
correct.
mousing around and clicking boxes, and that's it.
That is all. So now we have all of those areas. And remember, this is called your trade area analysis, trade area analysis. All right. So I
Yeah.
am going to stop
You know,
sharing
something
it.
that's really impressive here, Terrell, we're overtime by 10 minutes, and we still have as many participants as we did at the 15-minute mark.
Well, I hope I am bringing value to you guys.
So
Definitely.
I think that shares that you're bringing the value. If you are appreciating what Terrell is doing, please put a comment below and just give her some love. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're going to go back to our RPR. And that is our reports page where we were. And again, if I want to go back to my site selection and make any changes, all I have to do is click that little breadcrumb and it takes me back and I can start over again. I can pick another area. I can choose different attributes here. So this is a huge value with an RPR. So I'm going to go back to my home page. And right now I am going to take the time to ask, is there anything else that you guys would like to see? Well, I forgot one little thing. Let me put it in our property, the opportunity zones. So with the opportunity zones, we just need a map open. So it doesn't matter what property you're on, what area you're on. We're just going to click open our map. We're going to go to show geographies, opportunity zones, and my map changes. These are all the opportunity zones within Las Vegas, within Las Vegas. Because a lot of people think that opportunity zones are only in decimated areas. No, these are just areas that they're trying to bring more income to, more people to, get it more device areas. These opportunity zones are segmented by census tracts and not cities. So remember census tracts. So when I click on the opportunity zone, I can save this area. And when I save this area, I can name it whatever I want to name. So if you want to name it your client's name or whatever you want to name it, I can do it there. Also within this opportunity zone, we can come in and we can search it. We can search this area. So guys, remember that. So wherever your client is looking for it, and you can move around your map, and all you have to do is take it and drag your map around.
You've
So
been getting a lot of love in the comments too.
oh, thank you. I haven't even looked at the comments.
Yeah, and someone was
You're
just asking,
welcome.
what
I
was it? I just
appreciate
saw it
that.
pop up there. They want to know about searching off-market property,
Oh, yes.
especially looking at RV parks. And RV parks in Vegas might be a good search. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we can try it. I've never done it before, but we can give it a trial. So let's go back and we're going to open our homepage. So we're going to come here and we're going to type in your area. So within Las Vegas. So we have Las Vegas, Nevada. And again, I had the for sale already selected. So it's going to bring back the for sale and for lease. And remember, guys, you see how quick that is? It brought back over 2,000 properties in a couple of seconds. But we want to look for off market. So we're going to unselect the for sale and for lease. And we are going to do public records. Now think of public records as anything with an address. Anything with an address. So sometimes it's kind of good to go ahead and narrow the search. So if you leave it as is, and I select public records and I hit search, you're going to get an error message. It's going to say it's too many because remember, public records and RPR size is anything with an address. So we're going to narrow that search. So was it RV parks? And I think that will be under special
Probably
purpose.
special based on what I'm seeing.
Special purpose. Hmm.
It might be under multifamily, depending on how some places define multifamily.
Oh, well, let's try multifamily. So within that multifamily still tells me it's too many because it's bringing back that search. So let's go to public records and let's pick a time it was sold. So let's say within the last 12 months. Let's see what has sold in Vegas in the last 12 months. We're going to apply and now we're going to search.
See, I love doing this stuff that's like RPR in action. It's like something that
Okay.
Terrell has not done before. Is like, see how he can trip her up, right? No, you're
Just
doing
see it.
great.
I have only been researching retail in Las Vegas because, hey, I, I always got to have a couple of projects going on. So
Well,
this is my
RV
first time
parks are kind of special
searching.
too. So,
Yes, and this is my first time searching multifamily because usually I'm on the multifamily, especially in the Dallas area. I that is my niche in here in Alabama. So here we are, just like that, multifamily. And it tells you recently closed. So these are your comps, guys. We can go to CompStack or not. Look at that. Look at that. It shows us the recently closed. If you want to select these properties, all you have to do is check them. And then you can go to mailing labels or print, and it's going to print, just like we did before when we were doing the mailing label. So guys, remember that. Oh, I love this. Look at that. These are not bad. 5-2
it looks like
on
they're
5.
repeating some of them too.
Yeah, if it is in
Multiple
yeah,
databases.
multiple databases, it's still going to pull those properties in. It is.
Okay,
Wow.
because we're seeing some of these, they got like 3, 4, 5 pictures of they're all the same.
Mhm. So again, select your area, put it on public records when you're looking for off-market properties, and select your property type. All right.
That
You
was
get it.
fun. All right. So this has been really good. I've been very excited about this. And it's very impressive because we just had someone log off, but we still had the same number of people now as we did like 15 minutes into the presentation. So you did wonderful capturing
Well, thank
everyone's
you.
attention. And Terrell also has offered, I mean, I kind of strong armed you, right? To send us that sample report. And so if you were registered for this event, you will also get the link for that special report. If you're listening to the recording, we will be putting a link under the recording that you can register for us to send you that report. So I am just tickled pink that we had you today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm looking forward to more collaboration with you.
Oh, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been amazing. You guys have been a great crowd today. Really appreciate you. We'll be seeing you soon. Take care.